Hello.
Oh my word!
Oh, bugger. I've just realised. Wrong show. Sorry, that was last night.
Very good.
Love it. Oh my word, you're full of the joys of spring and pineapples, Robert. That was funny. I love that. And Claire, you're looking ever so gorgeous this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm a bit more awake
Oh.
and alive. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not very lovely at all. No, I'm a bit more awake and alive and sorted and with it today. So clearly the drugs have kicked in. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I still have more coffee.
Oh, you've got coffee. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Have you got a drink as well, Robert?
Sorry?
Have you got a drink as well?
I've already had 2 cups of tea, so I've got a glass of Ribena.
All right, okay, that's fine. So anyway, good morning and cheers to everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Gogglefrogs. So we'll go through and say hello to everybody in the chat box, and we'll also say hello to people watching us on replay, because some people are working, can't watch us live. So hello to wherever you are in the world. Lovely to see you. And we are your co-host presenters today. So I'm Angela. I do lots of knitting and some crochet. And we set this idea up, is it 8 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
In a minute, yeah. But I'll hand over to my lovely co-presenters. First of all, to Robert.
Hi everyone, I'm Robert. I knit, crochet, sew, tapestry, collect teddy bears, Lego enthusiast, lots really. Claire?
Hello, and I am Claire. I crochet furiously. I sew. I generally make all sorts if anything needs making. I knit fairly badly, but I'm, keen and I will have a go. And right now I'm currently avoiding work, so don't tell anybody I'm here.
No one will ever know. Because no one knows what time we are, because we never say what the time is when we are. So no one would ever know.
No, so all of you.
So Gogglefrogs was created about 7-8 weeks ago because we were going into lockdown, weren't we? And we thought, isn't it sad that we're not going to be able to meet up and have our crafty natters? Because we talk about nothing. We drink copious amounts of tea and coffee. We have chocolate, we have cake, and we knit and crochet and get lots of inspiration. So that's what this is all about. So you can see us, but we cannot see you. So you'll be really happy. You can have your PJs on, you can just relax. It's just us who had to put the cocktail sticks in our eyes this morning. So hopefully you're all well, and I'll hand over to Robert.
So it's 8 weeks ago. And yes, 8 weeks ago, and this is episode 35, 6, 7, 38.
Brilliant.
Really, isn't it, when you hear the lyrics?
It's really, really, really emotional, isn't it? Another emotional song that you've given us. Thank you very much. Brigitte, do you have any mascara on today? I hope you do. Oh, it's lovely, lovely. Oh.
I have a random wartime song fact for you.
Oh, please share.
Right, do you know the lyric in the song, There'll Be Bluebirds Over the White Cliffs of Dover?
Yeah.
The lyricist who wrote the words to that had never been to the UK and didn't know we didn't have bluebirds like they do in America.
I'm surprised she ever agreed to sing it then if it's factually incorrect. Somebody must have said to her, you do know we don't actually have those.
Well, but it makes for a well scanning lyric, a good scanning lyric, but people don't know that actually. But there you go. It amused me, and I like telling people that at vintage events.
Oh.
So there we go.
And if you didn't know, Claire loves everything vintage.
Yeah.
Has some incredible outfits. I think that one of my favourites, whilst I love all the steampunk stuff, was the suffragette outfit. I absolutely loved that. It was incredible. So Yeah, she's got really, really good eye for detail and
Thank you
makes
very much.
something so realistic. It's really good, really
Love-
good. Oh,
I put that together, and my mother says she went to a fancy dress party as a suffragette once. I didn't know this, and she handcuffed herself to the buffet table.
Well, if you're going to handcuff yourself anywhere, it's either there or the bar.
You can probably see where I get it from now.
that is funny. That is so funny. I love it. Absolutely. I might just try that the next time and say, oh, I'm just a suffragette. Oh dear, that's brilliant. Oh, just to let you know, Brigitte says I did have mascara on. Have to patch it up later. So I think all of these lovely songs, it's just, well, it's just thinking about 75 years ago, what everyone had gone through, and yeah, absolutely fabulous. So I've had this sorry to talk not about knitting at the moment. Last night I created a simple recipe to celebrate Victory in Europe Day for gluten-free people, and it was a gluten-free scone. Now, normally, gluten-free scones need an awful lot of stuff. Sorry, I returned my phone. To make them taste nice, we put things like ground almonds in, a whole host of things, loads of cream, and I've made it really simple this time. I thought, no, I just need to make it really simple. So I was up until 3:30 this morning, getting that done, getting it loaded onto it. So I had to create the ebook, I had to create the webpage, I had to create the email, create the Facebook ad. So that's going out there free today to people who are gluten-free today and tomorrow, so they can be part of the celebrations. Because part of that VE Day celebration tomorrow afternoon is to have scones and tea or cake and coffee. So I thought scones are what gluten-free people miss. So I've just done a really simple recipe and sent it out there. So if you know anyone who wants it, I'll post it into Gogglefrogs, our Facebook group later, and you can have it.
Yeah, so I think the idea is that at 3:00 you listen to Winston Churchill's Victory in Europe Day speech on TV, and then you go outside and you all raise a glass and you have afternoon tea.
Yeah.
However, it works in your area. So
yeah. So my parents are on a street, so I WhatsApped the neighbour, which they didn't have 75 years ago. It would have been knocking on doors, or actually back then it would have probably been just knocking on the wall, wouldn't it? So she thinks it's a really good idea. We've got somebody who's on their own further up the street, so hopefully we can just all go out, take a little bit of food out, and we can still chat at 2-metre distance. So we just want to try and involve people, because I think there's a lot of older people who can't get out for that walk or to the shops, etc. So we're just trying to involve everyone. So yeah, so thank you for sharing this, Robert, because I would not have known all these little things that go together and make a beautiful day in commemoration.
I must admit, I didn't know either until Monday, and that was only because I saw somebody else share the post that I then shared as well. But I do think it's a lovely idea.
Yeah.
So, right, shall we say some good mornings?
Yes.
Oh, before no, let's say good mornings. Right, so morning, Sally.
Morning.
Morning, Safia.
Morning.
Morning, Marion Wildy.
Morning.
Morning, Marion Di.
Morning.
Morning, Lindy.
Morning.
Morning, Linda.
Morning.
Morning, Judy.
Morning.
Morning, Janet.
Morning.
Morning, Jackie.
Morning.
And morning, Dawn.
Morning.
Brigitte seems to have dropped out, but morning, Brigitte.
Morning.
And then good morning to everybody on replay.
Yeah, good morning. I've got a really, really, really poor joke.
Go on then.
Right. Talking about Marions, because we've got 2 Marions. We've got Eminem in the house.
Hey!
In the house. Eminem. Eminem are a band. Well, it's a man.
Rapper.
Oh,
Shady.
Okay, fine. Get it now. Okay, sorry.
I told you it was a bad joke. I'm no good at jokes. Don't let me do it again, okay?
There's just one tiny little problem, when you start, there's nothing anybody can do to stop you because you're 140 miles away.
And I go at 140 miles an hour a lot of the time.
And because you're the admin, it's not like we can turn your camera off or kick you out.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh. Ah.
How did you learn to do that? How?
Sorry.
I
I
didn't
just
you do
discovered
that to me. Oh, I've just found it. You see, this is what happens. Technical glitches. I was the only one who could turn things off.
That's what I thought until I pressed the button.
I wouldn't mind. It even said Robert has requested that you turn your mic off. Didn't realise that.
Oh dear, sorry.
That was funny. Well done. Well done. Just
Right, so every time you say you're going to tell us a joke, I can actually mute you.
Oh dear.
Well, from the sidelines, the joke was mildly amusing. It was you who didn't get it, so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Pull yourselves
Oh.
together.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm still doing an arm. I've not
Jolly good.
I've not got that far. But we will continue. We will continue with this arm.
Right now I'm still on squares. I'm paddling along. There are 36 of them, so I shall probably be doing about 3 or 4 a day until they're all done, and I've got a big pile of complete squares, and then I'll work out how to stick them all together.
Oh, how do you normally?
Now there is no normally because I've actually not joined squares before.
Oh, have you not?
No, I've made whole projects and things.
Ah.
So this is actually quite new to me.
Oh, that'd be good.
So I will be looking up the various ways of joining things.
I think it will depend on whether you want a flat join or a raised join.
Yeah, haven't decided yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look out. My first reaction is a flat join, I think. But I will have a look and I will have a research and I will have a think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I will try and work that one out. But no, I haven't done crochet in bits before. I've always done big projects and big blankets and whole things. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah.
So good. So what are you on today, Robert?
So I am doing my what is it? It's a cow.
All right.
In the bamboozle, and I absolutely love this yarn because of the thick and thin on it. So I actually did quite a lot yesterday because I did 4 base rows, and then I've kind of gone up probably 2 centimeters already. I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah.
That's stocking stitch in the middle, and all you do is when you come to a thick bit, so like this bit here,
Yep.
you reverse the stitch so that it kind of sticks out on the on the stocking stitch side.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's a bit where I can show you there. It
So
shows
you
on the
pearl
right
the
side.
thick stuff.
Sorry?
So you pearl the thick stuff.
No, you do the opposite stitch because it's stocking stitch.
Right.
You do the opposite stitch. So if you're on
Oh,
knit,
I see.
you would
Right,
pearl
yeah.
it. If you're on a pearl roll, you
Gotcha. Yeah.
you would knit it.
I was halfway there.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine. I didn't do a very good job of explaining it.
No, it's all right. I always get my stocking and my garters mixed up anyway. End up in an awful mess.
It's
I'm
so
just going to
weird.
take your word for that.
Oh, I always find that though, when you haven't done a stitch for a while, I do tend to jump onto Google, just double check. And I know what it is, but I just check. Tell you what, I did see. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was about to say, yes, I do that all the time.
I know, it's really weird. When I was in the supermarket the other day, there was a new magazine that's come out, because I always have a look at what magazines are there, and it was a crochet magazine, but it was all crochet stitches. So I had a look, and it was £9.99. Do you know what? It was really, really well set out. So for anybody who may not be a crocheter, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was out at the moment. It's probably cheaper to just buy something like a proper big book, but I was just really quite impressed. You know, in some of the magazines, the stitch explanations and the drawings are just really good, and it's really nice, and it wasn't the most basic crochet stitches, so it looked quite good. Yeah,
really good. Yeah, I mean, I know some of the publishing companies, they will do a periodical book that goes on the magazine rack, so it's not a monthly thing. Some of my quilt magazines used to do that. Every now and then, usually for the summer or something, they'll do a one-off project book that goes on the magazine rack as well. So it sounds a bit like one of those. I'll take a look out for that, actually.
Yeah, it's just nice to see every so often, isn't it?
Yeah, something that takes it back to basics and explains it well.
Yeah. So I was quite impressed to see it, because sometimes with some of those books, I do think some of the patterns are a little bit twee, or not something that I do, and sometimes the kids with them are a little bit, I wouldn't use that. Sometimes it's brilliant, but I was really quite impressed with it, but not impressed enough to spend £10.
No, you probably don't need it, but it's always worth a mention.
Yeah, it was really good, and I thought if I was starting crocheting again, that would be really, really nice to have as your little handy Bible with the main really nice ones, rather than looking through 300, 400, 500 different stitches. So yeah, it was really good.
Excellent.
Yeah. So hopefully I will get a little bit finished today. I know I wanted to yesterday, but everything was a little bit busy yesterday. Brigitte says, I love books with just stitches in. Clever who thought them up for us to copy. Yeah, and sometimes when you look at the pictures, you can't quite, sometimes they're much clearer and easier to pick up than others. I don't know if they use software or if there's somewhere where you go and download the different stitches for those pictures. So if you do know, let us know, because I'd be one of those fascinating facts. I'd like to know where they get them. Marion's saying, are somebody's needles squeaking?
No, that's...
I think it might be mine.
No, it's not needles. I think it's a bit of noise from the microphone or some. I'm afraid it sounds like just one of those things.
And unfortunately, the only way around that is for all of us to go out and buy permanent mics. Because you can't use headphone things because they don't work very well a lot of the time. So yeah, so I might invest in one because it might be mine. I don't know. We'll have a look. So
seems to have passed anyway.
Huh?
seems to have passed anyway. It might have just been a...
No, I think it was me. I've moved back, and I think it was the movement of my needles.
No, it was a squeak, not a click. But anyway.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't done comments, have we?
No, I was about to say.
Oh, so let's go right up to the top. Oh, so Jackie was first to say good morning, peeps. Good morning, Jackie. Hopefully you're working really well today and just taking your little mid-morning break.
And looking forward to your 3-day weekend.
Oh, yes, it's a 3-day weekend, isn't it? Enjoy, everybody. Jackie says morning, peeps. Judy said good morning. Lindy said good morning to everybody. Brigitte, morning, peeps. What the start to the first word I hear is bugger. That's funny. Dawn says good morning. Beautiful day out there. Had a lovely walk up the fields with Maisie. Hello to Maisie as well. You beautiful little Maisie. And you are Dawn as well, of course. So Maisie's lovely. I'm sure I had a beautiful little bandana on today for your walk. That's Maisie, by the way. Marion said good morning. Linda said good morning, ladies and Robert. Janet said morning all. Brigitte said I shall sing that song in my head as the tunes that come out of my mouth don't match. I think that's the same for all of us.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I was on mute and I was just mouthing the words because I don't like singing out loud because I think I sound good, but no one else does. So I do get that. And she had said about she did have mascara on. I'll have to patch it up later. Yeah, lovely start to the day. Sally says, still got trouble remembering that you can't see me wave, but I do. We love to think that everybody.
Oh, I do it.
We do.
Yeah, on those days when I'm on the other side, I wave and talk to the screen as well.
Yeah. So that's what we're here for. It just wouldn't work if there were however many of us all trying to talk at the same time, because then the amount of background noise would be quite intense.
When you finish with the comments, let me tell you about last night and the Zoom meeting in America.
Oh, okay. Marion said also some sweets. When I told my little joke that backfired because of you know who, she said also some sweets called M&Ms. Yeah. Sally called you a rotter. Claire said, I've lost sound. Hold on. Marion said, Angela's gone quiet. Have you switched her off, Robert? Who knew? Yeah, you knew, didn't you? You were planning it with everybody.
I promise.
Brigitte says, it was Angela. First time for everything, isn't there? First time that I can't hear me. Sally says, no, he's turned you both off. Claire says, not just me then. Jackie's laughing. Brigitte says, you little devil, Robert. Yes, he is, isn't it? Marion says, Robert corpused.
Corpsed. It's when you laugh and you can't speak.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
It's what happens when they do that on the telly and somebody makes somebody laugh and then they can't speak and can't carry on with the program. Corpsing. Happens on stage sometimes.
Learn something
new. I never knew that.
Learn something new every day. Judy says, oh, Robert. Lindy says, so funny. I'm glad everyone found it funny. I did as well. Brigitte, she's not got good broadband today. Just popped in and out like a jack in the box. Well, hopefully you've been able to pop back in and it started to level out slightly. Brigitte says, I love the books with the stitches in. Clever who thought them up for us to copy. Yeah. Some of them are just done so beautifully as well. Marion, we said, are somebody's needles squeaking? Working well 4-day weekend as I have Monday off as well. So Jackie, you very lucky person. Got 4-day weekend. Enjoy.
Wow.
Yay. Robert, here's the link for tomorrow's Bedfordshire branch announcement. So we'll put it in Gogglefrogs because I can't read that out.
I'm going to repost it all later anyway.
That's fine.
But the important thing is it's not a Gogglefrogs announcement, so it's a different link that you need to use. And there is no Gogglefrogs tomorrow.
Yeah. And Safia says, talking of Zoom, did you hear about the scandal that occurred during Jamie Crow's Starcraft interview?
No.
Pray do tell, Safi. You
Please.
know,
Do stuff, yeah.
yeah.
So let me talk about why I loathe Zoom. So Zoom, for those of you that don't know, works very similar to this, but everybody is on camera, which means that everybody can talk over each other. And 3 weeks ago, I was invited to join an American knitting group, which is at 11 o'clock our time, and have been on it 4 or 5 times now, I think, because it's on 3 times a week. And they have there's lots of things that are totally weird about it, besides the fact that they're Americans. There's a couple of British people that join, but last Wednesday we were having a discussion around the coronavirus and how different countries have tackled it, etc., etc. Anyway, the conversation dragged on for about half an hour, and then somebody said, "I'm going to call pineapple pizza people," and I'm like, "What? What do you mean you're going to phone for a pineapple pizza? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in America. Why do you want a pineapple pizza at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?" Anyway, it was a code word for stop the conversation. Get everybody off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their code word. You know, like when you have a safe word during conversations, or a secret code where you say to somebody, "Oh, blue frogs," and that pulls you out of the conversation, or that it's their trigger to take you away from something. Yeah, there's is pineapple pizza to reset the conversation because it was getting too heated and too political.
Ah, yes, I think I know why. Pineapple on pizza is one of those debates that a lot of people have an opinion about.
Oh,
And once that conversation starts, all other conversation stops. It's the pineapple on pizza is also kind of the equivalent of the Devon and Cornwall jam first, cream first.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay.
Start talking about that, the conversation stops. So I suppose they're just using that as a metaphor.
Oh,
That makes sense. So anyway, on last night's call, one of the people that joins us makes a lot of tea cozies. And I said to them, I said, "Do you ever steek your tea cozies?" And there were 12 people on this call who had never heard of steaking before. So I was then able to sit there and tell them all about steaking, thanks to the lovely Trisha.
Oh my god!
How amazing is that?
That is brilliant.
So now the Americans know what steaking is.
Oh, you star. Now, just Safi's just said, apparently last night or whenever it was, hackers broke into it and put up some awful, I believe, pornographic photos. And Marion says, "Safia, I heard yesterday that something similar happened at a school or college, caused mayhem." They must have been, Safi said that they must have been bad, as people were saying that they were traumatized. Oh my word.
Oh lordy.
Oh, poor Janie Crow. That is just horrible. And another good, because the thing is with Zoom, I think most people are using it so it's an open invite, and you can have it so that you've got a password and you've got more, but people just wanting to get more people to join, etc., aren't using that. So with the system we use, you know, there's no chance of that happening. But that is such a shame.
Because she's a lovely sharing person with it. So I'm very, very sorry it happened to anybody, particularly her.
I know that's not nice, especially when, you know, she works so hard to design things, but some people are just horrid. And I know how, you know, people do hack things. Oh dear, they put an open link in. Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh well, I won't do that again.
No. You just got to we all use what we're comfortable with and what we know works.
Yes.
And I know we used Zoom last night, didn't we, Robert? And there's some things that I do like about Zoom, but I just it doesn't automate like Demio does. So half the time you won't get a replay if we were busy or forgotten. That's why we sort of use this system. But that's a real shame. And that that blanket, that's the fruit. Is it fruit garden?
It is.
I think so.
It's just beautiful. So that's a real shame. Real shame. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with her. To do with the platform.
Just grabbing another block. There we go.
Hey!
Hey.
That's good when you're producing things on this show, talking,
There
answering
you go.
questions, and telling us about bluebirds and Dover.
Sorry.
No, I love
Fun
it.
fact.
I love knowing all these things.
Right, Marion's just taken a banana bread out of the oven. Great. I'll be round in a bit. No, I didn't mean that, but you know.
Oh, and can I just say thank you? I think, was it Marion? I can't even remember. For posting a link and copying me in that Morrison's are now delivering a gluten-free box.
Ooh.
So that's really good. So I must put it on my gluten-free Angela page today. But you know, there's a bag of pasta in there, something to make bolognese with, and so a loaf of bread. So really nice that somebody can get something where everything is gluten-free. They don't have to worry about it.
Marion, you're saying you've got 2 banana breads, both surplus to requirements. Why don't you cut them out and cut them up and give them to your neighbours for tomorrow afternoon's afternoon tea?
Oh,
How nice would that be? Because that's what the day was all about. It was about celebrating, coming together, and sharing what you had to celebrate. So that might be quite nice.
And if anybody would like some, I'm sure if you message Marion, she will cut you at least 2 slices, put them in a little bag, so you can wander down, pick them up from her garden, and go home and enjoy. And who knows?
You were going to say Marion was going to drop them off then. I was going to say it's a good 5-mile walk to my house and then 5 miles back. That's her exercise for the day.
No. Oh, dear. Oh.
Marion says, don't think ours are taking part. Well, I think you should just go and say, here you go for tomorrow's afternoon tea.
Yeah.
And then maybe tell them what's happening, or print off some leaflets, which is what I did to put through my neighbours' doors. And then if nobody else does it, at least you know you've tried. Will she do mail order, do you think?
I just got that one. That's good. Oh, dear. Judy says they didn't have bananas on VE. Someone ate her first one with the skin on. Yeah, I remember my dad saying that he'd never seen a pineapple. He thought they came in chunks in a tin.
Yeah.
That's the only time they'd ever seen stuff like that. And like you think bananas as well. And I think that's why, of course, I'm going to go out and I'm going to replace stuff, but I'm not going out to buy all those ingredients that I normally would, because I am in this make, do and mend type philosophy, with the exception of wool, of course. Although I haven't bought any for a few days.
Yeah.
But,
Judy, if that was you, you weren't the first one. I have heard that story from a lot of people, that they ate their first one with the skin on, because an entire generation of small children grew up with not knowing what some of these fruits were. Hence the song, "Oh yes, we have no bananas today." You're looking baffled. Wartime song. Don't worry, I know a lot of wartime songs. In fact, I'll put a link up, but this evening and most Thursday evenings, a friend of mine who's a musician has a Cockney sing-along, and that's usually one of his songs, and he does it on Facebook on Thursday evenings. He does a lot of songs of the era. So anyway, a whole generation of kids grew up not knowing what most of the basic fruit and veg. Sorry, Judy, if it was, I'm afraid I don't know people, but yes, no insult intended, but yes, people did not know how to peel a banana because they've never come across one before.
Now, there's a thought, Angela. Do we gin club tonight, or do we Cockney sing along? Gin, sing along. Gin, sing along. I think the gin might win.
I got this one to go through now.
I
Anyone knows?
might open my orange gin tonight.
So, that was gone. Lasted it at 4 o'clock this morning. That's because I just finished working at 3:30. So I've been working flat out from about 6 o'clock yesterday evening to 3:30 in the morning. So that's why, and I just thought I needed a gin and tonic. So I've got that. I've got to get more tonic today, so I have to go to the supermarket. But I don't know. I'm happy to do either.
Is Georgie on today? She's not, is she?
No.
No. Okay, Georgie, if you're watching the replay, can you please say a very, very, very big thank you to Nick for his suggestion about what Thursday could be, because it's been the most popular post we've had since we started. So the whole idea of Freehand Thursday came from Nick. So thank you, Nick.
Brilliant.
So let's show the page. Right, so we start with Judy. Time of Tide is a very early freehand of mine. It's still working and in everyday use. It's based on sharing with you before sharing retreats. Oh wow!
That's lovely.
Look, wow!
I love that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so good. I want one.
I think she can make an absolute fortune with those. Lindy, my entry for Freehand Thursday. I made this bag using free-form knitting and crochet pieces in about 2008 and 9. Deliberately wanted a rainbow effect, otherwise the pieces were just ad hoc and placed onto a bag frame. Apologies for the poor photos, trying to get the technology. Lindy, that looks amazing. I love that.
That is gorgeous.
I love how they're colour blended rather than straight blocks.
And I am thinking that as my little niece has asked for a rainbow cardigan for Christmas and stuff, I think she'd really like that, a little bag like that as well. So I might have a look at that and see how to adapt it. Oh, and nudie knits. I love nudie knits.
Yes, nudie knits. I will. I'm not going to play it now. I'll play it later. And if it's short enough, then I might try and upload it for a session next week.
Jolly good.
This is George's creation. Here is my entry for Gogglefrogs Freehand Thursday. It was a tape measure crochet for Angela's birthday. If you pull the cat spell, the tape measure comes out, and there's a retractable button on the back. I need to sit down and write the pattern out. I think I may need another one to jog my memory. There we go.
Yes, we are in love with these, Georgie.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to remember which project bag it's in, so I can show you. But that's a beautiful picture of it. But yeah, it's just. Oh, sorry, I've got so many project bags.
Right, I'll carry on scrolling. Georgie posted a picture of a bee crochet pattern. I think it's crochet, anyway. Then I've posted a Freehand Thursday. So my next door neighbour, who Gary works with, his mum passed away from dementia, and she had made legacy blankets for all of her grandchildren, bar one.
Oops, he's stuck.
Oops. We're just waiting for him to come back. Oops, sorry, Robert, we just lost you then.
Oh, okay. Am I back?
You heard legacy blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she made legacy blankets for all of her grandchildren, bar one. And this was the last one that she made, and it just fell apart. So I was asked to repair it and put it back together. So that is blanket put back together. And then because there was one grandchild who lived next door who didn't have a blanket, I then made them a blanket at the same time I fixed this, so that they both got the blankets back together.
Aww.
So lovely.
Then Freehand Thursday by Linda Phillips. I was asked to design and make this crochet bag colour choice dimensions and use speed as part of the request for the rest of my design. Look at that. I love the lining of pink flamingos.
Mm.
They used pink flamingos on Sony last night with some Winston dungarees.
I have yet to get back to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't mind. I'm going to watch it anyway. So it was just saying.
Freehand Thursday. Inked by in 1977 Christmas. No pattern, bits of odd yarn and crochet. We travelled with our stuff, my girls, 2 and 4.5 at the time. Got dolls in the carry cot for Christmas. They filled them with to fill them, I crocheted sheets, pillows, slips, and blankets. Flower square was one for the dolls' pram. Oh wow! Very clever, Brigitte. I think that's all of the Freehand Thursdays.
Real.
Going into what we talked about yesterday. So thank you so much for sharing all of those. My sound is not good. Is that better if I move closer?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for sharing all of those. So Saturday's theme is show it off Saturday. So we normally have finished it Friday, but if we don't do Gogglefrogs on Friday, we're going to have show it Saturday instead. So do post your pictures of any projects that you've finished this week, so that we can show them on Saturday. Well, I say we, so that the ladies can show them. I'm taking the day off on Saturday. I'm missing it, so I will have a nice, relaxing weekend, but I'll be back on Monday. And music choice is not mine on Saturday either. That's down to these two to decide. All I'm going to do is find the tune and put it in ready for them.
Fine.
So have fun on Saturday.
It's also not just anything you've finished this week, but anything you want to have a really good ta-da moment on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Yay me! Look at this pic. Because we all need to have those occasionally.
Yes.
Even as grown-ups. Do you know that feeling you might have had as a kid, or you see a kid running home from, I know, school, play school, whatever, nursery, with a picture they've painted in their hand and gone, look at this! And they've been really chuffed. Well, we still need those moments now as well. So if there is anything that you want to have a really good ta-da moment over, post it and we will big it up.
And I have found it. It was in the first bag. And this is what I know that these have gone a bit, it's been in a bag, but like that's what it does. And then you just press the back and it goes like that. It's just so gorgeous. I love it to bits.
It is
and
lovely.
Georgie, yes, you need to make this pattern. So
Georgie, write the pattern.
And the other thing is this, and Claire designed and produced this, so it's got little black hats on it. And Robert's going to show his.
Hey, mine's over there somewhere. There.
So, you know, there's lots of people who are so great at designing and crafting, and yeah, and I think it's so important, isn't it, when you finish something that we can go for months and months and months, because in our homes a lot of the time people don't appreciate how much work goes into things because they don't knit, crochet, do all this crafting. So that's another reason why we wanted to have Gogglefrogs, so you can show your finished work and get that rapturous applause.
So hi, Louise.
Hello.
Evelyn's here. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
And Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
So, ladies, what does the rest of your day look like?
Work. I've got a Zoom meeting with a boss later, which is why I'm hiding for now.
Okay.
No, it's fine. We're just discussing stuff. Sorry?
I hope that's going to be a good meeting because you've been working really hard.
it should be fine. It's just we need to discuss A level and AS grades and things.
All right.
So it's all stuff that I've dealt with. But yeah, it's important things that we need to talk about, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to be a grown up occasionally, and I don't like it very much.
I remember when I was at school going into sixth form or whatever it was, I can't remember. But business studies, I never remember studying entrepreneurs ever. I don't actually know what we did do in business studies because I learned absolutely nothing about business in it. So I think it's amazing the fact that you've set a project where they go off and they research different entrepreneurs and the fact that people are going through school when they're really quite young. Like, how do you make money? What goes into creating a business? What do you have to consider? You know, ideas are good. They don't always make money. So just because you don't make money, that's not a failure. What did we learn? Can you do it a different way? Absolutely brilliant. So I think I'd have really liked to have been in your class. I didn't like being in many classes, but I think I'd have enjoyed your class.
That's very kind. No, the GCSE is a nice little course. It does actually cover things like that. The A level is a bit more technical, and it's not quite so exciting, but it does cover a lot of important stuff. So A level does creep into management theory and things like that as well. So, but the GCSE is quite a fun little course. Worth having a look. But yeah. So there we go. What about you two? What are you up to this afternoon?
Well, I think we've got some time to catch up, haven't we?
We need to do some behind the scenes stuff. And then I've got my crafting thing for work this afternoon where I'm going to teach them how to make granny squares. I've got Gary's mum at 3 o'clock. And then dinner.
Sorry, I couldn't catch that. You went quiet.
Oh, sorry. So I've got my work craft group this afternoon, where I'm going to teach them how to make granny squares, and then I've got Gary's mum at 3 o'clock, and then I'll go for a walk and dinner, and that's about it for me.
Oh.
Oh no, gin club. Forgot that. I knew I had something else.
A little bit of gin. Yeah. I think I need it. I think I've just got the supermarket, spending some time with my parents because I've spent a lot of time up here. so that's good. I'll just spend some time with them this afternoon. And I'm sort of melting at the moment because I've got this whole woolen cardigan on my you know what it's like, it gets so hot, doesn't it? So I just need to be able to put it on a table instead of on my lap because it's very, very warm, and it's quite warm up here. I think it's going to be 20 odd degrees today, so I may even put a summer dress on and sit in the garden for the afternoon. Yeah. Oh, Sally's just said, talking about scones, anyone used yogurt in the recipe? Yes, I have. However, one of the best things that you can use is get some milk, and it doesn't matter whether it's almond milk, normal milk. Get some apple cider vinegar, the original one with I call it sludge in the bottom. So if you get that, just shake it up, put a teaspoon of your apple cider vinegar in the milk, and it will curdle. And it's those bubbles as it curdles that creates lightness in your scones. So you can use yogurt, but if you have a little bit of apple cider vinegar, stick it in there. Just try and curdle anything milk-like. It doesn't affect the taste, it's just the texture, and it will make it much, much lighter. But the scones I made, I used X amount of milk, and then I put some lovely thick yogurt in as well. Lovely. I've got no cider vinegar, so I couldn't curdle it, I'm afraid. But yeah.
An earlier comment, Louise. Hi, Louise. Again, I haven't been able to join you much this week, so you may have seen this. We haven't, actually. But do people know about Buxton Wool Gathering online this weekend? Some of my favourite local dyers are there. Thank you for the tip off. We will take a look at that.
I think
We
we
will.
talked about it. I think we mentioned it right at the beginning of, either at the back end of last week or the beginning of this week. And then there's the international one that Trish has been posting every day as well.
Yeah, well, it's not one I remember, so I'm grateful.
That's all right.
So we could take a little peek on Saturday, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Claire? Yeah, we'll have a little peek. We'll try and have a look beforehand, although it can get quite manic. And we'll just see what it's looking like.
Yes, Marianne's saying she used to go into schools and colleges and explain what would happen tax-wise when they left school. Also a useful thing to do. I do cover some of that as well. But yes. Sally says, as a result of Trisha's post, I went to YouTube to find fruity knitting. Very good. How was it? How did you find it? Fruity knitting. I'd be delighted to hear more about that.
I can't remember fruity knitting.
No,
Was there another word for it that we used, or?
I don't know.
See, we talk about so much. I'm going
I know.
Then now and go and have a look after this.
Louise says, sad we can't actually go to Buxton, but the yarn will still be lovely. Yes, I bet it will. But it's really nice that we get all of these online things now so that we can still fulfill our needs. Jackie says, okay, guys, lovely seeing you. Got to go. See you on Saturday. See you, Jackie. Have a lovely couple of days. Well, if you get to make a fuss of other people, we get to make a fuss of you.
Okay.
It's fair.
I'll let you off. Thank you. It's going to be a very quiet and very different one.
Yeah. Angela, Mike.
Angela, that's not me this time. That's you. I swear it's not me.
That's all right. I've obviously hit the wrong button. But hopefully we're going to be able to travel after the end of July. So if that's the case, I'll take you over to Belgium for a walk on the beach and a creek.
Very good.
For the day. All right.
Thank you.
So, we've got 2 minutes left. I thought, oh my God, I need to get the happy birthday in for Robert. Oh, everybody's wishing you a lovely birthday, Robert, as well.
Thank you.
Even though it's going to be different.
Well, it's 1 year, and it.
Because somebody hasn't even left the house yet, so I don't think I'm going to get a card or a cake or presents. So we'll see what happens. But I did tell him a couple of weeks ago that I wasn't worrying about it this year, so I won't mention much.
Yes, but it's 1 year. We'll make up for it next year. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be lovely. Oh, you'll have something.
If it's any consolation, my birthday's a week before Christmas, so it's always low-key. So there you go. So nobody makes a fuss, really.
Yeah.
Right.
We're at 11 o'clock, folks.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. It's that time. The witching hour is upon us. We will see you on Saturday. There's no Gogglefrogs tomorrow, no Gogglefrogs on Sunday. We have Fridays and Sundays off. And myself and Claire will be with you on Saturday while Robert has a beautiful, lovely, long lay-in bed. And he will have Bex and Turfy going mad, saying, "Come on, get out of bed."
Yeah, that's what Gary's for on Saturday. He can take
Fair
it.
enough.
Oh,
So, right, have a lovely day, everybody. And those of you that join me tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Bedfordshire Guild announcement.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.